What's up guys, Woody here, back with another new to Mythgard video, and today we're talking about lane placement, which is a video I've been, I don't want to say working on for a little while, but I've definitely been I've been thinking about it for a little while, about how I wanted to deliver it and what I wanted to focus on, because this is the mechanic that separates Mythgard from your Hearthstones, from your Gwents, from I don't know, any other card game that you want to go on about, okay? And I mean, there are other mechanics there, but the 7 lane system really fall into making like mature strategic decisions. Your decisions genuinely matter, and a decision you can make turn 2 can have huge impact when it comes to turn 4, turn 5, turn 6. So it's really about the ownership on you as the pilot, and that can be really overwhelming and intimidating at first when you play Mythgard, especially with the 7 lanes. A lot of questions you get asked, or a lot of questions I was asking when I first started playing was, well, if I'm playing first, where do I put my opening minion? And if they're playing to the left, do I play there or do I go to the right? Do I look to block minions? Do I look to try and do damage to the face? And even someone who's experienced in card games, learning Mythgard was a whole new experience in terms of, it was like, well, how do I approach this game? How do I do this? The movement between the lanes, the cards that have swift to have an additional movement. Impel is my favourite power. Sonny plays a lot of mid-range decks. Impel is the most versatile, I would argue. So all these questions, I asked, and over the I don't know, the 300, 400 hours I have in Mythgard, which I get is a lot less than many people. It's questions I've started to answer, and that's what I want to do for you guys. So hopefully the presentation of this video comes across in an educational manner. You can learn something from it. I have created a little peripheral, because, you know, I'm nice like that. So I created a little screen, which I'm going to show off to you now. Look how good this is. Pow! Look at that. Here's my little made-up Mythgard board. Can you believe this? I jumped into a game against the computer, PvE, and I drew 2 color blocks. I never draw color blocks in this deck. There you go, 2 of them. And I had to forfeit for you guys just to get the picture. But anyway, you get the idea. We're going to be using this as reference throughout this video. Now, I'm going to quickly apologise for 2 things. One, I get my content's been lacking recently in terms of how much getting out there. I'm just super busy until January. I will get videos out when I can, guys. I promise. I have a deck video coming for you in the next week or so. And then I have Woody's 10 underrated and 10 overrated cards for Mythgard, and that's probably it until January. There probably won't be another new to Mythgard video in December, just because I'm super busy, and they do take time for me to kind of get notes of mechanics and bits like that. But anyway, secondly, I've got a cold. That's why I didn't stream last night. So I sniff or anything in between it. It's only because I don't want bogeys falling out my nose on video. But anyway, let's jump into our lane mechanics of Mythgard. So we're going to mostly focus around the opening of the game here, okay? Now, there'll be other conversations that will naturally stem up, but let's look at the opening of Mythgard. So when we're playing our first minion in the game, this is what we're presented with. We're presented with an empty board. Now, I've always completely simple. The reason I've numbered them is, that's what we do in Mythgard, is we number our lanes. If you watch a tournament or anything like that, when they cast it, they'll say, oh, playing in lane 3, playing lane 6, playing lane 7, and you always number it to the side you're watching. So, for example, even if we was watching this game, we were talking about Gargantuan, which is a computer, we would say, oh, they're playing in lane 6. To them, it's their lane 2, but we don't say that. We just say playing lane 6. So, where do I open? Where would I play now? Now, I'm going to use this hand as an example, okay? Now, let's say, for example, I've got Collar-Block. Collar-Block, I know, is my turn 1 play. If you don't play Collar-Block turn 1 and you've got it in hand, I don't know what you're doing. You're freaking me out. You're stressing me out. You're stressing many people out. Play Collar-Block round 1 or turn 1 if you have Collar-Block in hand. So we're probably burning the Aiku, and we're dropping Collar-Block down either lane 6 or lane 2. Okay, lane 6 or lane 2. The reason being lane 6 or lane 2 is Collar-Block has the ability to swift, so it can move 1 with a free movement. Now, I want to keep Collar-Block alive. I want Collar-Block to definitely survive 1 turn. If I play it middle, there's little chance that they will be able to remove it turn 1 unless they're playing Red Rush. So technically on turn 1, there's no difference playing that. However, when it gets turn 2, turn 3, if I want Collar-Block to try and survive 3 turns, so he gets 4 charges, meaning I get 2 bonus mana. Playing middle means I take 1 spin here, then I come back across here. I'm playing around the middle area, and that's where a lot of players like to contest. A lot of players like to kind of control the middle. Now, playing Kolobok into middle is kind of asking for them to go, well, you control middle. Kolobok isn't a threat in terms of damage. So playing it wide is something I want to do. My first move would probably then be to move it out wide here. And then that means I've got my charge on it. If it doesn't survive, it doesn't survive. But I'm playing wide of Kolobok because I want to keep it alive. Another example of that is Maze in yellow. I want to keep Maze wide, Maze alive. Maze doesn't have Swift. Maze is actually immobile. So I'd probably end up just playing Maze in either lane 1 or lane 7 as wide as possible to make my opponent go, okay, if I want to deal with this, I'm going to have to throw a minion wide. And it's going to have one turn of like to get rid of Summoning Sickness and then swing, all while my opponent can draw a card off Maze and then start establishing middle. So that's why little minions, Kolobok, Maze, I can't think of anything else right now off the top of my head, I'd want to play wide. Maybe if you're playing a lurker mid-game like a Bella or something like that you want to keep it alive, you could drop it wide with something bigger in lane 6 or lane 2, because that means if it's lurker, they have to remove the lane 2 or lane 6 minion. But the only time you ever start the game wide, and that's what we're focusing on now, to start the game wide, is with a minion that you want to keep alive. So it's not going to threat them, but so it's going to help you longer game. Maze helps you longer game because it lets you draw a card. Kolobok helps you longer game because it helps you establish mana. So let's say we didn't have Koloboks in hand. Let's say we had an eager recruit in open in hand. Okay, 2-1 that puts a 1-1 in our deck. So obviously we burnt an orange card. Where would I play my eager recruit turn 1? So going back now, the three main opening plays or opening strategies we're going to talk about today are establishing middle, mid off, because you know cricket's a thing, so mid off, or we're going to go completely wide. Now, focusing first on establishing middle and mid off. Establishing middle would mean I would play eager recruit, bang, number 4, right in the middle of the board. It's not a play I personally like. I like playing lane 3 or lane 5, and I'll get into that in a minute. But playing this card, lane 4, means that I've said to my opponent, I want middle. I am going to control middle. Or I could be baiting them out. I could be playing middle to then play wide next turn. If they see that I'm playing orange and then green, they're going to think that I'm probably going to control middle. Now, the reason you control middle over wides is more of a kind of control deck, okay? Because controlling wide is harder. The reason it's harder is I can play a minion lane 2 and it's blocked 1, 2, and 3. So let's say, for example, we're playing against Red Blue Rush. We get to turn 6, turn 7. I play IQ in lane 2. There's almost no rush minion they can play that's going to remove IQ on lane 1, 2, and 3. Red Blue Rush wants to play wide. They're looking at playing wide and getting damage to the face. They can't do that now because IQ, one card, pretty much is blocking all 3 lanes. No matter what cards they play, this is probably not going to kill it in one turn. It's completely shutting them down. So that's why playing wide is harder to do. It's better in quicker decks. Establishing middle is kind of saying, well, I can establish middle here with 2, maybe 3 cards, and then drop the odd card out wide to block. Okay, that's the strategy you want to look at. If you're playing a control deck or more of a late game controlling deck, I would always recommend try to control middle first. So if you're playing first, I'd plot this either lane 3, lane 4, lane 5. The reason lane 4 is fine, or lane 4 is good, is it's straight in the middle. It's smack bang in the middle. I'm now making my opponent make a decision. Do they play directly opposite, which can sometimes feel odd and alien, and it also means they're playing directly opposite. Lane 1 and 2, and lane 6 and 7 are open for me to play minions in and swing through potentially next turn. Or do they play lane 3 and lane 5? And then if they play for lane 5, I know they've committed to the right of the board. Now I know that left is open if I want to go there. If they play lane 3, I now know they've committed to the left of the board. I now play to the right. So playing in middle has its advantages. It can dictate your opponent in terms of forcing them to play 3, 4, 5 to block. It can also then, off that information where they play, it can be like, okay, they're playing for. I'm now going to establish 5, 6, and 7. I'm going to develop over here, okay? So, for example, I play Eager Recruit 4. My opponent plays a card, lane 3. I now go, okay, do you know what? Let's say we draw into Exerian Recruiter next turn. I play Exerian Recruiter lane 7. Now, all of a sudden, they're like, okay, well, this guy trades into this. Now, do I keep going wide or do I play over here? Now, we're forcing our opponent where to play. We're dictating, okay? and playing in a mid-rangey kind of slightly control-y deck, that's a good thing. Now they're playing lane 7. Now I can play lane 1 next turn. Now they've got to play lane 1. And if I've had a collar block out turn 1 and I've got the mana advantage, I'm ahead of curve, I'm dictating where they play with cards that are 1 mana stronger than them. I'm playing lane 7, they're playing lane 7. I'm playing lane 1, they're playing lane 1, okay? That's not always the case, but that's the information to get off controlling mid off turn 1. So playing Eager Recruit here, that's what I would do there, okay? Now, if I was to play lane 3 or lane 5, I'll be setting up for what's called like a 2, or what Noah calls a 2-card 6-lane block. Now, the reason what I mean by that is Eager Recruit goes down in 5, okay? Their opponents can play anywhere they want. They might want to go, do you know what, it's only 2 damage. I'm going to establish a card over in lane 3, and let you swing through. If I then play a card over in lane 3 on my next turn, I'm now blocking lane 2, lane 3, lane 4, lane 5, lane 6, and lane 7. Okay? We're now blocking all these lanes off this one card. Sorry, if I play lane 5, I'll play in lane 2, my bad. In lane 2, then I'm blocking 1 to 6. The only place they can swing through is 7. Okay? So this is what I mean now. Our second strategy is playing just off mid. So just off mid, opening card being lane 3 or lane 5. It means that we can start setting up for this 6-lane block. Okay, it means that I can play lane 4 then playing lane 2 or lane 1 afterwards. It means I'm only blocking up to 5 lanes, or if I go the other way, I'm only blocking up to 5 lanes this way. Whereas playing, like I said, let's say lane 5 and lane 2, 6 lanes are blocked. Now, if I'm playing red-blue rush, that's really big. That is really, really big. And it's lane placement against red-blue rush, or red-purple rush is now a thing, that can really, really shut you down. Can really slow you down, can slow them down, and can really make you you get on top in the game. You get to turn 5, turn 6 against red-blue rush. They pretty much haven't got a hand left normally. And if you can start controlling the board, they just burn out. That's how you beat red-blue rush. Good lane placement to slow them down. And this way, I'm blocking 6 lanes with 2 cards. That is it. Yes, they trade into it. They have their Speedway enchantments out, and they're doing the overrun damage, but it's only chip damage. It's not 5 damage bang to the face, because then we're going, we're going to drop this card down here, now I'm going to drop this card. I get to the turns, I'm going to play, the Kashel's coming out over here. Well, they need to do with Kashel, because if Kashel trades into a minion, then swings to the face straight afterwards, and it starts getting big and big and big, and we start overrunning them. So, developing cards turn 1 in lane 3 or lane 5 allows you to set up for the 6-lane block, which is a defensive maneuver. It's a defensive shape. So let's say I play lane 3. Now I know lane 2, lane 3, lane 4 are blocked. The next turn, okay, I can either be aggressive and I can play lane 1, meaning I've got 2 minions swing through. So let's say I play lane 3 with Eager Recruit. My opponent drops a card down lane 6. I've got to make a decision. What is their deck? Let's say we're playing red-blue rush. Well, I cannot give them space. They're playing wide over here. I cannot give them the space. Because let's say they drop a Speedway down to turn afterwards. Then a Wyvern on that. We're taking 5. We're potentially taking 10 to 12 damage to the face in 3 turns. We can't do that. We can't afford that. So then I would play my next card over in lane 6. Meaning that from lane 2 to lane 7 is completely blocked. And I can keep regurgitating cards. Playing cards there just to block these cards. Giving them lane 1. Forcing them to play lane 1. On the flip side of that, I play lane 3. My opponent's playing yellow. And they play a Yahui down in lane 6. Yahui's not too bad. Yeah, he's got 3 health, 2 damage. He's not that bad. I'm doing 2 damage to the face over here. Wait a minute, I'm going to be aggressive. I'm going to play my Xerian Recruiter over in lane 1. Now, that Yahui, for 2 damage to the face, is being outpowered by my 4 damage to the face over here. They're going to have to come and meet this. They could play 1 card in the middle here. It might be another Yahui. I mean, we have to trade both in. But we're now starting to dictate where they go. And reading the board early game is so important. Understanding that, where do I play? Do I play mid? Do I play just off mid? And then reading the second play is really important. As in, do I stack wide, or do I look to block with 6 lanes with just 2 cards? And keep regurgitating that mechanic. What I mean by that is keep playing cards to back in lane 3 and lane 6. Lane 3 and lane 6. Just controlling that. Just saying that if you want to do damage to the face, mate, you've got to do it through lane 1. I am forcing you down lane 1. And then as you start getting through the mana, red-blue will stop burning around about turn 5. Normally they get 5 mana and they stop. We can go, fine, look, you're at your 5 mana, win out at 7, IQ goes on there. Now 1, 2, and 3 safe. Now I can start developing board over here to damage. IQ's overrun there, chip down on them, and I can beat them, okay? But yeah, they're the 2 main strategies that I would recommend playing around with at first. Playing in one of these 3 lanes, 3, 4, or 5, to develop your next play. See where your opponent plays and read off that. It comes down to what's your opponent playing. Are they playing a fast deck? Are they playing an aggressive deck? You can pretty much get that by what power they're playing, what pathway they're playing, and what color they're playing, okay? For example, if they're playing green, purple, reanimate, because they're playing Discus Arcadia, and they're playing Smite or Foresight on it, then we know that they're going to probably want middle. They're going to probably look to control middle. The reason they're going to get their necromatics down in middle or around middle is because that's where a lot of the action's going to be, and people are going to trade in, or they can trade their necromatics into them, get their big units out. We know that that's going to be the case. So maybe we do play wide. Maybe we play wide and go, do you know what, we're going to force them wide here. And then when they play their necromantic over here, we can go, we're going to leave your necromantic alone for now. We can't deal with the 8/8 that's going to come out afterwards, so we'll just come over here, okay? If I'm playing red-blue, I know it's going to be quick. If I'm playing mono-red, I know it's going to be quick. Then I want to be covering the lane 3s, the lane 6s, or the lane 5s, lane 2s, and covering the 6 lanes across the board. If I'm playing yellow-blue, well, do you know what? That's a little bit slower. I can actually go to contest middle here. I'm going to base smack bang in middle and see what they do next. And then if they go to lane 3, do you know what's cool? This card trades here. Now I'm going to go lane 5. I'm going to start developing over here. We're going to start pushing them this way, and then we can push them this way. And it's kind of a game of tug of war. Who's going to develop their side of the board fastest? And that's what you need to understand from playing in the opening 3 lanes, getting the information you need to play on turn 2, turn 3, turn 4, to start dictating your opponent's play and start controlling where they're going to play. Now, the last strategy we're going to look at before we jump into a game and I talk through my lane placements is opening wide. Opening wide. And the only way you do this, or the only time you do this, is when you have an aggressive deck, when you have a rush deck. If you're playing a rush deck, you open wide. Simple as that. If I'm playing red-blue and I put down my, I don't know, I put down the Stigori Pup or something, lane 4, lane 5, it's just going to actually block it. It's easy, okay? And if they do block it, then what we play over here, then they just play over here, and all of a sudden now they're blocking potentially 5 lanes if this card survives. So I need to start thinking about, where do I want to play? I want to be playing wide, okay? I want to be committing to one side and then maybe flipping to the other side. So with red-blue, for example, I may play a card over here. They're going to play a card over here. I might then play an enchantment over here, which then makes my opponent go, okay, an enchantment is a slow play. Do we keep developing over here and give them that side of the board with their enchantment because it's not a minion? Or do we look to block the enchantment? Now, if they block the enchantment, turn 3, I can put a wyvern down over here, swing 3 damage to the face. If they don't block the enchantment, and it says a speedway, I pop the wyvern on the speedway and I swing 5 damage to the face. And now they go, oh god, we need to block this, play over here. Now we just play over here. And with the with rush decks, we're looking to almost ignore middle. We want to be playing wide and very wide. Even lanes 1 and lane 7, really pushing our opponent out wide and getting the damage out wide on those. Pushing them out wide, pushing control decks out wide, can sometimes really not slow them down, but it can go against their game plan. And then what can happen up is you can set up lethal for, I don't know, something like a Wings of Abaddon to come down middle on an enchantment, swing through. You force them out wide, you're playing into the mindset, you're playing red-blue rush, you're playing red-purple rush, or whatever rush you're playing wide. It also opens up these lanes here. So you can start going, all of a sudden, well, actually I'm going to drop a minion here and swing through. I'm going to drop a Panic Raider here, swing through, I get a card draw off that. Because I'm playing wide, middle lane's pretty much always going to have a free run. So I can get a Rush minion through there, I can get a Panic Raider through there. So that's, if you're playing Rush, your opening play wants to be probably 6, 7, or 1 and 2 to play wide. And you kind of want to be dictating these wide lanes. You want to be forcing them wide, pushing them wide, okay? You're going to outpace any deck, red-blue rush. If they don't block your minions, if they don't stop your minions, you're going to win. Okay, red-blue rush beats blue-yellow rush if they don't block all day long. You'll win by turn 4, turn 5. If you have your right hands, if you're playing enchantments and you're dropping your speedways, you're dropping your Wings of Abaddon on them, you're swinging through, it's just like bye-bye. Like, they have to block you playing red-blue rush. It's the only way they can beat you is by stalling you out. So that's our 3 strategies. Play smack bang middle, see where your opponent plays after that, and then go from there. Play 3 or 4, sorry, 3 or 5, and then look to either play defensively by covering 6 lanes, or play aggressively by attacking through 3 lanes, or open wide, okay? And then, I kind of spun through that really quickly, that information. I get there's a lot to take in. Hopefully it helped you out a little bit. What we're going to do now is we're going to jump across to Mythgard, and we're going to play a game. We're going to play in ranked. We're going to have a game. Win or lose, it doesn't matter. But I'm going to talk through my placements and what my opponent's doing. And hopefully that might help some of you out who are trying to put what I just said then into practice. So the deck we're playing now is a mid-range green-orange deck. It's not fast. It doesn't aim to be fast. It's not uber controlling. It's a little bit controlling because we're running stuff like Temptation. We're running Seal of Exiles. There's a few other like Spirit Away. So there's a few controlling cards in there we are running. But it's just a classic mid-range deck. So I can hopefully talk through my lane placements. I can talk through everything like that. And we can kind of... you can get an idea of why I'm playing stuff and where I'm playing it. So it doesn't matter if we win or lose. Okay, so we're playing enchantments. Or we're playing against enchantments. Now, we do have a turn 1 play. Now, we are playing enchantments. And we have to imagine that these guys... At the moment, the most popular enchantment decks I'm seeing are red-blue. I'm not going to lie. Although they are playing men, which would make me think they're not playing red-blue. This can be a bit more of a slow burn deck. Meaning, I'm going to aim to try and control middle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open with burning Herald of Famine, because he's kind of a meme card. He's only in there for memes. And I'm going to develop this in lane 5. Now we can see where my opponent plays next. And that's going to allow us to start dictating where we're going to go next. Are we going to be looking at getting a 6-lane block on? So they're playing purple, so it is a bit more of a slow, but well, potentially slow main deck. Maybe purple-red. And they're going to drop this minion down over here. Okay, so they can spend the 2 mana to lose defender next turn. So we're not going to trade into this, because trading into this, they can spend the 2 and swing through 2. We don't really want to do that. We did get a collar block, which is always very nice. So we're going to burn the Aiku. And we're now going to play Collarbok over here. Because now Collarbok is effectively going to be... it is blocking, but this is what I mean now. So we've got all these lanes blocked. 6 lanes are blocked here. And we have 1 spare mana, so we're going to drop the Passer Recruit out nice and wide. We are now effectively blocking every single lane in the game. On the board. So everything says blocked. We're now going to them. We control the board, basically. Yes, you got a bigger minion here, and... So they're playing purple-orange. Okay. There we go. So yeah, so they're playing purple-orange. We have a complete board controlled here. Now, I think what we're going to do here is... Their deck... Enchantments can be a little bit slow getting enchantments out. So, and they've already spent their Leprechaun's coin. So we're going to start developing a little bit of aggression here. And we're going to burn the Tamed to lead astray this. To then start actually putting some pressure on them. And, yeah, and now forcing them around their play. We have a board. We don't have a huge board. They don't have any big AoE stuff with orange, purple. But we can start chipping away at them. Even if they come over here and they want to trade into the Collarbok. So they're playing this over here, the Alpha Strike. It's fine. The Alpha Strike is, it's annoying, I'm not going to lie, but we're just going to move this over here. That's fine. This can't attack, so this just stays as a blocker. We have no issues with that being a blocker. Lavish Proxy is a really good card, but we don't necessarily need it yet. So we're going to burn the Lavish Proxy. We're going to play the Parry the Gates because it's going to allow us to draw 2 cards. And now we've got firm control of... Oh, that's a nice card, actually, because we could probably Seal of Exile this next turn. Now we have firm control of the middle of the board. The middle of the board, we've got our mana ramp coming up over here. We have a blocker over here. This can't attack at the moment. They're probably playing the orange enchantment that allows them... Sorry, orange artifact. Allows minions to lose defender for 1 turn. But it's fine. We have a blocker here. This is a chump blocker on this guy here if that happens. Are they going to want to play into lane 7? Probably not when they got this here. Just to remove a 1-1. So at the moment, this is fine. This is blocking this if it loses its defender abilities. So this now is an enchantment where dual enemy minion, and it gains a life for it. So we're going to just Seal of Exile this now, because we have the mana ramp. So we have the extra mana that we wanted. We can burn Gallows Boy. We can Seal of Exile this to get rid of that on the board. We can swing through. We've got nice amounts of damage to the board there. We've got nothing we're going to play here. So what we're going to do at the moment, lane 1 is free, but we have 2 mana left over. This is a useless card right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to Impel, Parry the Gates, over, and again, once again, we have full control of the board. There's not a way they can get through. Okay, so we're going to go into 6 mana next turn. Scoring a Pride is always an option, although we do need to burn an orange card. No matter what we play next turn, it needs to be an orange card that we burn. Again, this chump blocker is going to be absolutely brilliant. So both of these can trade into this to remove it. Although we've got to ask the question: do we want to trade into it? Do we want them to keep? Do we want to keep putting pressure on and force them to draw cards and chip away at their health? This hasn't got overrun. It can't go through anywhere. It can't do anything. So yeah, it's an interesting one we can do there. I think what we're going to do is I'm going to burn the Ifrit because we need to develop another orange gem. And we're going to drop the heavy down here. The heavy will straight out remove this. We could have played the heavy wide if we want to be aggressive. But I don't think we need to be aggressive. Our lane placement so far is pretty controlling. Let's can trade here. We could move this across if we want to force them out wide. We don't need to. This is going to trade into one of these. I can take 1 damage off it next turn. Anyway, we can trade another card into it. We then maybe draw into one of our big guys. We're drawing two cards again in 2 turns' time. Just if we can get even 2 damage off this, or even 1 damage of it, it's doing its benefit. It can't get through at the moment, so they're going to remove that. It's fine. This now still trades into it. Another Parry the Gates over here draws this card next turn, and allows this to, and then we'll trade into this. They will take damage off this again next turn. The overrun damage going through here will mean that they'll take 1 more damage as well. We'll then put ourselves into a place where we're still covering the whole board. Our 1/1 still doing a good job of chump blocking over here. We will have card advantage over them, and we'll have board advantage over them, and we'll have around about 11 life advantage over them. So controlling this board at the moment is pretty good. We're in a nice position. They're playing tricolour, so they are starting to get to a position now where some bigger cards can come out. Your twins can come out. Your Sappos can come out next turn. Okay. That does 1 damage to it, doesn't it? Right, yeah. So what we can do here is we can actually play Dark Passage onto this to remove it. And so we can play this here. Because what this is going to do is this is going to stun it. So it can't do anything. It can't swing until this gets removed from play. And they're going to take 1 damage off every time they draw a card. We really do need to... We don't really need to burn a card. So what we're going to do is we're going to play... We can't play Detain because we haven't got enough mana. We're going to trade this into there. And it basically means next turn, if they want to trade into it, it dies. It's as simple as that. They could move this over and swing into this. Which is an option they have. We are drawing 2 cards next turn. But I don't really want to burn any cards. That's the issue we have here. We're going to end turn there. We're still controlling the board quite nicely. They could, like I said, move this over. And then... Oh no, wait a minute. Orange is a full turn. So they can't move it over and activate in the same turn. That doesn't matter. They can't do that. So there you go. So they've got that bad boy there, which means we're going to score on a Pride it. Although score on a Pride isn't brilliant, actually, because score on a Pride will mean that they can still do the big damage with the Spirit Minion over here. So probably Temptation will be pretty good there. Gallows Boy. We could just Seal of Exile it again. It's not a bad idea, is it? I'm quite tempted by that. Yeah, I think that's fine with us. And we can now develop. We can now start going. We're going to play wide. Over here. This is stunned. They're going to keep taking damage off this. We have the card advantage we've been trying to find. We're not going to burn a card. We don't need to burn a card. And now they are, again, their board is almost diminished. So this card here, all minions with defender can attack. Oh, yeah. So we need a Raid the Tombs is what we need. We need a Raid the Tombs. Because we just need cards. Parry the Gates will give us cards, which is important. And that's good for us. Now the question is, do they play here or do they play here? We're starting to get a point now. We are behind mana. Gemcut Spider is a good card there. Temptation would be nice on that. Rogue Eidolon. So this can just get moved across over here. Although they trade into this, it's going to thingy. So we can move this now, so it stays alive. We can Scorn a Pride here. And we need an orange gem. We're going to have to burn this to then turn this into a spirit minion, which can be removed by this next turn. And I think that is turn. Yeah, so we're still not in the best position here. They are taking the chip damage from Ifrit, which is exactly what we wanted. The reason we moved the Hag was because the blast 3 damage. So if I trade into this now, they remove it because the winter. The Hag got removed anyway, so this can swing now. This can swing into this to remove it. This can swing through. Okay, they decided to take that route on it, which is fine, I suppose. Absolutely fine. So this. So that can trade into that. We can move this over one. And we're going to play Parry the Gates here to give us some card draw. Kashel's a nice card to find. Murmur's a lovely card to find right now. Absolutely beautiful. And we're going to burn the Detained to put us back up to 7 mana. And yeah, we're back up to where we need to be. That's still taking our chip damage off Ifrit. If we can find an IQ or a short stag, the overrun damage is probably going to win us the game. Okay, so we've got 4 damage wide, which I'm assuming they're going to probably want to block. We'll take in 5, 6 damage now. They haven't burnt a card for a little while, which is not concerning, just odd, I would say. So they've got a defender there. That's fine. We can potentially murmur that, because it means that... That's a bit of a waste for murmur. If we have a temptation, we're going to temptation this to then trade it into this, and they don't get either of these back. So temptation now will be fine. We're only running 1 temptation now in the deck. I took the other one out because I found it wasn't. So played that, moved that wide, which is interesting. Detained is not really a card we wanted, to be honest. No. Okay. I'm going to murmur this. Because what we can then do is we can burn the shell. Put that over. This hasn't got damage now, so it's not deadly. This can trade into it. It's not winter, so we won't die. But if we trade into this next turn, it will do 3 damage to this. It will remove this. Or even come across, actually trade into this, do 1 damage. Won't take any damage, and it will remove this. We'll see. But We're kind of on the defensive now. They're still taking the 1 damage off this. We don't really want to trade into that. Yeah, this can't attack. Or it can attack. All minions can attack. So it can attack. Meaning we definitely don't want to trade into it. I was given 5 damage. 3 to the face. 16 durability on this is nuts. Oh, of course I can do that. I always forget about that enchantment. This enchantment's kind of nuts, actually. In the long game, it's very strong, very powerful. We are in a predicament now. The longer this game has gone on, the harder it has become for us. Definitely. Armageddon Angel would probably be the best card to find right now. I know we burnt it, and that was a bit of a mistake for me. But we're getting through our deck. If we can get an Armageddon Angel now, we will find it. But I mean, their lane placement now is perfect for what they wanted to do. Wow. Okay. So we temptation this to trade into. Wasn't it die? Because that was a misplay by me. Yeah, that was a really big misplay by me. Okay, I misplayed big time then. Really big time then. By thinking it'll trade in, but it's only when it's on the web will it get deadly, and it doesn't get deadly when it's not on the web. So I probably should have taken it the other way around. Traded into it. Although I couldn't have, because the defender wouldn't have attacked on my side because we don't have the enchantment. There is no way I think we can win now. The only way could potentially IQ coming out and putting down some big. Look at this 8/8 fully heals at the end of turn. Hasn't got overrun though. So an IQ's not good over here because the deadly just removes it. And we drew a collar block. Okay, I think this is going to be game over, people. If I'm being honest. Yes, this is going to be game over. So we play. Yeah. Wait a minute. We play this here. And this here. And I think we survive one more turn. Oh no, they're fragile. No, we don't. Actually, this kills it straight off because it's got fragile. The winter has... Oh, of course, they have this ability over here as well. I always forget about this. I've not seen this enchantment played since the patch. But anyway, we lost the game. Yeah, it was a good game. It was a good game. In hindsight, I think we could have been a bit more aggressive earlier on. Thinking they were down to 4 health. Like the longer that game went on with the enchantments, the more crazy it got. They managed to find a lot of their enchantments, get their enchantments out. Find this card so early, and being allowed to develop it early. We don't run any enchantment deck in this deck, any enchantment tech in this deck. So that's always going to be an issue for us. But anyway, that was the game. We didn't win, but the aim wasn't winning. It was talking about our lane placements and where we're playing cards and why we're playing cards in certain lanes. Now, hopefully that made some help for you. Hopefully that helped you guys out with lane placements. If it didn't, I'm sorry that you sat here for 40 minutes and watched a video if it didn't help your lane placements. But hopefully it did help you. But anyway, guys, if you liked the video, then give it a little like, and that way I know you liked it. This will be the last News Mythgard video until January, just because I'm super busy. Maybe I'll do a couple over Christmas, maybe because I have some time off. I'll have to wait and see about timings and all that. But if not, then this will definitely be more in January. But there will be some more videos still coming. Like I said, my 10 underrated cards in Mythgard, my 10 overrated cards in Mythgard, and I've got a deck video coming for you next week. But anyway, guys, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for watching. Have a great day, morning, evening, whatever it is where you guys are. And until next time, goodbye.